All right, we're gonna make some flour tortillas. Start with, I'm gonna do a double recipe. So I'm starting with 6 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And mix that up. Doesn't need a whole lot of mixing because I'm gonna put it in the food processor. So I put that into the food processor bowl. And I put the lid on. And go ahead and stir it. And I do 2/3 cup of olive oil into the feed tube. And let it go down a little bit before I add the rest. And I have 2 cups of warm water, around like 105 degrees. I wait for all the oil to get through the feed tube before I start adding water. The flour will start getting a little bit crumbly as the oil gets blended in. I keep adding water until I've used up about 1.5 cups of the water. It often doesn't use the full 2 cups. Depends on the flour. You want to keep adding water just until the dough pulls into a ball and isn't sticking to the sides of the machine anymore. You can see it starting to stick together. Run for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a few seconds, until it becomes a nice soft dough. You want it to be a little bit sticky, but not sticky enough to stick to your fingers. You can check it, see how you can, it's not really sticky, it's just kind of, it's soft. And you want to be able to touch it without it sticking to your hands. And because I'm doing a double batch, it's kind of gotten stuck up in there, but it'll all work out. So take it out of the food processor bowl, pick up all the little pieces, and it still should be all a nice soft pliable dough. Shape it into a ball. Put just a little bit of olive oil in a glass bowl. Get it shape into a nice round ball. I put it top down, roll it around in the oil, and then turn it over. Just enough to keep the dough from sticking to the bowl. I cover it to rest for 15 minutes. And like I said, I didn't use all the 2 cups of water. Got down, there's a 1/3 cup of water left. It can all vary on what kind of flour you're using and how much flour, because every measurement is different unless you weigh it. And I don't take the time to weigh it. So let this rest for 15 minutes and then it'll be ready to shape into balls. All right, I put a layer of saran wrap down to put the tortilla dough on after I shape it into balls. Makes it easier cleanup and keeps the dough from sticking to my counter. So this is rested for 15 minutes. It doesn't really change any. It just gives the gluten a chance to relax. You want to do about a golf ball size ball of dough. Doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as it's a nice little ball. And I set them out on the saran wrap as I make them. Like I said, they don't have to be perfect, just because you're gonna squish them anyway. You just want them to be a little bit, as much even as possible, so that the tortillas all come out the same thickness. Okay, after you get all the balls shaped, what it looks like this time, I ended up with 34 balls of dough. I think my recipe I have that it makes 12 to 18 balls, depends on how big you make them or how much flour and water. It comes out different every time. Anyway, after I put them all on the saran wrap, I cover it with saran wrap again. Just kind of press down the edges to keep the balls from getting dried out. Okay, and now they rest for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, put down another sheet of wax paper. Next ball of dough. And press it for about 5 seconds. And pull it out. You can make it whatever thickness you like. The harder you press, the thinner it will be. And they're not perfectly round like the ones you buy at the grocery store, but I think they taste better. And they're nice and fresh. All right, last tortilla, or last ball of dough, being pressed into a tortilla. All right, there we go. Got a nice stack of tortillas. These can, after they cool, they can be stored in an airtight Ziploc bag. If I'm gonna keep them for very long, I like to put them in my vacuum seal bags. I usually do 12 per bag, but these we're actually gonna probably use most of them tonight for tacos. So after this, after they're pressed, you can cook them immediately or let them cool and store them. All right, so with the finished tortillas, like we're gonna use them for tacos, I just put a little bit of nonstick spray. They really don't need a lot of oil to cook. And then I put the tortillas, I'm cooking at 350 degrees. And they just need a little bit on each side. I go ahead and spray the tops before to keep them moist. You can see them start to kind of bubble up. They don't take long. And I mean, they just need to be cooked a little bit through. The flour has to get heated up. And that's really it. Like this, when they start to just get golden, make perfect soft tacos, or sometimes we roll them into apple pie taquitos or into flauta, whatever we want to use them for. Russell particularly likes his taco shells soft. If you like them crispier, you can use some oil and get them nice and crispy. You can even fold them and make them like Taco Bell's tacos. But just like that, they're ready to eat.